Chapter 6. When I finally find Castle, he's not alone. And he's not okay. Nazira, Hyder, Warner, and Castle are leaving a conference room at the same time, and only the siblings look like they're not about to vomit. I'm still breathing hard, having just raced down 6 flights of stairs, and I sound winded when I say, "What's going on?" I nod at Warner and Castle. "Why do you two look so freaked out?" "We'll discuss it later," Castle says quietly. He won't look at me. "I have to go," Warner says, and bolts, down the hall, and far, far away. I watch him leave. Castle's about to slip away too, but I grab his arm. "Hey," I say, forcing him to meet my eyes. "The girls need to talk to you. It's critical." "Yes?" he says, and he sounds strained. "I just saw all their messages. I'm sure it can wait until after the symposium. I need a minute to—" "It can't wait." I hold his gaze. "It's critical." Finally, Castle seems to grasp the gravity of what I'm trying to relay. His shoulders stiffen, his eyes narrow. "Noria," I say, and Castle looks so stunned I worry he might fall over. "I wouldn't bring you a bullshit message, sir. Go, now. They're waiting in the medical wing." And then he's gone, too. "Who's Noria?" I look up to see Hyder studying me curiously. "His cat?" I say. Nazira fights back a smile. "Castle received an urgent message from his cat." "I didn't know he had a cat," Hyder says, his brows furrowing. He has a slight accent, unlike Nazira, but his English is flawless. "I haven't seen any animals on base. Are you allowed to keep animals as pets in Sector 45? "Nah, but don't worry. It's an invisible cat." Nazira tries and fails to force back a laugh. She coughs, hard. Hyder looks at her confused, and I watch for the moment he realizes I've been screwing with him. And then he glances at me. "Hey, Mar." "Say what?" "He just called you an ass," Nazira explains. "Wow, nice." "Let's go." "Okay, wait, that sounded like it might be a compliment." "Nope." Nazira smiles wider. "He just said you're an idiot." "Cool, well, I'm glad to be learning all these important words in Arabic." Hyder shakes his head, outraged. "That was not meant to be a lesson." I stare at him for a moment, genuinely baffled. "Your brother has no sense of humor, huh?" I say to Nazira. "He's not good with subtlety," she says, still smiling at me. "You have to knock him over the head with a joke or he doesn't get it." I place a hand over my heart. "Wow, I'm so sorry. That must be so difficult for you." She laughs but quickly bites her lip to kill the sound, and she sounds serious when she says, "You have no idea." Hyder frowns. "What are you talking about?" "You see what I mean?" she says. I laugh, staring into her eyes for just a second too long. Hyder shoots me a murderous look. I take that as my cue to leave. "All right, yeah," I say, and take a quick breath. "I better get going. Symposium starts in—" I glance at my watch. My eyes widen. 30 minutes? Shit! I look up. Bye. This thing is a scene. There are around 600 commanders and regents, officers at the same level as Warner, in the audience, and the place is buzzing. People are still settling in, taking their seats, and Juliet is up at the podium. The group of us are standing behind her, on stage with her, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little risky. We're perfect targets for any psycho who might show up with a gun. We've taken precautions, of course. No one's supposed to be allowed in here with any kind of weapon, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. But we all agreed that standing united like this would send the strongest message. The girls remained back on base, We decided it'd be best for them to stay safe long enough to save us if we get injured. And James and Adam are MIA. Castle said that Adam doesn't want to participate in anything even remotely hostile anymore. Not unless he has to. I get it. In my less charitable moments, I might call him a coward, but I get it. I'd opt out too if I could. I just don't feel like I can. There's still too much I'm willing to die for. Anyway, Juliet is pretty much invincible, so as long as she keeps her energy on, she should be fine. The rest of us are vulnerable, but at the first sign of danger, we're supposed to scatter. We're too outnumbered to fight. Our best chance of survival is to spread out. Spread far. That's the plan. That's the whole goddamn plan. We hardly even had time to talk about the plan because everything has been so insane lately, but Castle gave us all a quick pep talk just before Jay took the stage, and that was it. That was all we were going to get. A quick, good luck and I hope you don't die. I'm definitely nervous. I shift my weight, feeling suddenly restless as the crowd goes still. It's a sea of military faces, the iconic red, green, blue stripes of the reestablishment on every uniform. I know they're regular people, blood and guts and bones, but they look like machines, and they turn their heads up at the same time, eyes blinking in unison as Juliet begins to speak. It's creepy as hell. We always knew that no one outside of Sector 45 would willingly accept Juliet as their new Supreme Commander, but it's chilling to witness in person. They clearly have no respect for Juliet, and as she talks about her love for the people, for the hard-working men and women whose lives were stripped for parts, I can see them strain to contain their anger. There's a reason so many are still loyal to the reestablishment, and the proof of it is right here, in this room. These people are paid better. They're given perks, privileges. I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. But once you see the things people are willing to do for an extra bowl of rice, you can't unsee it. The reestablishment keeps their higher-ups happy. They don't have to mingle with the masses. They get to keep their finery and live in real homes on unregulated territory. These men and women sneering at Juliet as she speaks, they don't want her version of the world. They don't want to lose their rank and the privileges that rank affords. Everything she says about the failures of the reestablishment, about the need to start over and give the people back their homes, their families, their voices. Her words are a threat to their livelihood. So it's really no surprise at all to me when the crowd decides they've had enough. I feel their restlessness growing more wild as she speaks, and when someone suddenly stands up and screams at her, makes fun of her, I worry this won't end well. Juliet keeps cool, keeps talking even as more of them jump to their feet and shout. They're shaking their fists and demanding she be removed from the podium, demanding she be executed for treason, demanding she be imprisoned at the very least for speaking against the reestablishment, but her voice can hardly be heard over the crowd. And then she starts shouting. This is bad. This is really, really bad, and my instincts are telling me to panic. This will only end in bloodshed. I'm trying to look around and still keep my cool, but when Warner catches my eye, I know, right away, that he gets it. We're both thinking the same thing. Abort mission. Get the hell out of here as soon as possible. And then, this was an ambush. Tell your team to run now. I spin around in an exaggerated motion, so freaked out I nearly lose my balance. I'm hearing Nazira. I'm hearing Nazira. I'm sure I'm hearing her voice. The problem is, I don't see her anywhere. Am I dying? I must be dying. Kenji, listen to me. I freeze in place. I can feel the warmth of her body edging up against mine. I can feel her mouth at my ear, the gentle whisper of her breath against my skin. Jesus, I know how this works. I invented this shit. You're invisible, I say, so quietly I hardly move my lips. I feel the tickle of her hair against my neck as she leans closer, and I have to suppress the urge to shiver. It's so strange to be feeling so many emotions at once. Terror, fear, worry, want. It's confusing. And her hand is on my arm when she says, I was hoping to explain later, but now you know, and now you have to run. Shit. I turn to Ian, who's standing to the left of me, and say, It's time to bail, bro. Let's go. Ian looks at me, his eyes widening for a fraction of a second, and then he grabs Lily's hand and shouts, Run! Run! The sound of a gunshot splits open in a moment of silence. It feels like slow motion. It feels like the world slows down, turns on its side, and swings back around. Somehow, I think I can see the bullet as it moves, fast and strong, right at Juliet's head. It hits its mark with a dull thud. I'm hardly breathing. I'm beyond pretending I'm not terrified. Shit just got real, super fast, and I have no idea what's about to happen. I know I need to move, need to get the hell out of here before things get worse, but I don't know why, but I can't convince my legs to work. Can't convince myself to look away. No one can. The crowd has gone deathly still in the aftermath. People are staring at Juliet like they don't believe the rumors. Like they wanted to know if it was really true that this 17-year-old girl can murder the most intimidating despot this nation has ever known, and then stand in front of a crowd and peel a bullet off her forehead after an attempted assassination, looking for all the world like the experience was no more annoying than swatting a fly. I suppose now they know that the rumors were true. But Juliet looks suddenly more than annoyed. She looks both surprised and furious as she stares at the ruined bullet in the palm of her hand. From this vantage point, it looks like a mutilated coin. And then, disgusted, she tosses it to the ground. The sound of the metal hitting stone is delicate, elegant. And then, that's it. Everyone goes apeshit. People lose their goddamn minds. The crowd is on its feet, roaring threats and obscenities, and then they all pull weapons from their bodies, and I'm thinking, where the hell did they get them from? How did so many of them get through? Who's our mole? More gunshots split the air. I swear loudly and move to tackle Castle to the ground. And then I hear it. I hear it before I see it. The surprised gasp, the heavy thud, the reverberations of the stage under my feet. Brendan is on the ground. Winston is sobbing, desperately. I push through my teammates, falling to my knees to assess the wound. Brendan's been shot in the shoulder. Relief sags my body. He'll be okay. I toss the glass pill bottle at Winston and tell him to force a few down Brendan's throat. Tell him to apply pressure to the wound and remind him that Brendan's going to be okay, that we just need to get him to Sonia and Sarah. And then I remember. I remember. I know this girl. I look up, panicked, and scream, Juliet, don't! But she's already lost control.